semi, ariko, ariko, semi aciano. Ariko, ariko, semi aciano. Ariko, ariko, semi koromo. Ariko, ariko, semi koromo. Ariko, ariko, semi rakuno. Ariko, ariko, semi rakuno. Ariko, ariko, semi sobaiko. Ariko, ariko, semi sobaiko. Bomatumba tukang semi. Bomatumba tukang semi. Dakana boria, ataveira. Dakana boria, ataveira. Dakana boria, ataveira. Dakana boria, ataveira. Bomatu matave, bomatu. Bomatu matave, bomatu. Bomatu matave, bomatu. Bomatu matabe, bomatu. Dakana boria, ataveira. Dakana boria, ataveira. Dakana boria, ataveira. Dakana boria, ataveira. Bomatu matabe, bomatu. Bomatu matabe, bomatu.
Hi, welcome to 100 Years, 100 Women, and I'm Maya Wiley, University Professor at the New School in New York City, and I'm honored to be your host on this day, August 18th, 2020, which marks the 100th anniversary of the 19th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, which granted some, but not all women of color, the right to vote. But it's a historic day after the announcement of a major political party having a woman of color on the ticket as a vice president. This program acknowledges the deep sacrifices and accomplishments of the suffragist movement and celebrates commissioning of over 100 artists, activists, scholars, students, and community leaders to respond to the complex history of the movement for women's equality and rights. And a special thank you to our Native sisters from the Taino Cultural Society for their beautiful tribute to Atabeya, our first mother, Mother Earth, and to Jocelyn Kashek and Roberto Borrero for uplifting 100 incredible Indigenous women from across the Americas as part of this project. Let us take a moment to recognize and pay deep respect to the ancestors, elders, and future generations of the Indigenous peoples who are the traditional stewards of this land. Stay with us. Coming up soon, you'll meet representatives from the Park Avenue Armory and lead partner, National Black Theater. Be introduced to the 9 other New York City cultural institutions participating in this project, hear from some very special guests, and catch a sneak peek at some of the amazing contributions which can be found in full in the project archive 100years100women.net. But first, please join me in welcoming Rebecca Robertson, President and Executive Producer at Park Avenue Armory, and Sade Lithcott, CEO of the National Black Theater.
Hello, I'm Rebecca Robertson, President and Executive Producer of Park Avenue Armory. Welcome to the 100 Years, 100 Women project that marks the 19th Amendment centennial. With our lead partner, National Black Theater, and 9 other New York City institutions, the Armory's commission works in a range of art forms from 100 extraordinarily talented artists and cultural creators. On behalf of our board and Avery Willis Hoffman, our amazing programming director who honchoed this whole unbelievable undertaking, we want to thank our partners for their commitment, perseverance, nimbleness, and insight. They are National Black Theater, the Apollo, the Juilliard School, La Mama, the Laundromat Project, the Metropolitan Museum of Art, the Museum of the Moving Image, National Sawdust, New York University, and Urban Bushwomen. The artist's works reflect not only the complexity of the women's suffrage, but also the issues of rights and equity in the era of COVID-19, Black Lives Matter protests, and the lead up to a critical presidential election. Collectively, the works form a profound and thought-provoking archive from an unprecedented time that will live beyond today's watch party. We are so grateful to these artists and creators as they help us make sense of a world in chaos. So over the next hour, we will share sneak peeks of some of the artist commissions. We will see a short documentary film by Shala Lynch on the artists, and we will hear inspiring words from some very special guests. If you want to explore more, check out the project archive at 100years100women.net. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sade Lithcott. I am the CEO of the National Black Theater. We are so proud to be lead partner along with Park Avenue Armory to bring you 100 Years, 100 Women project. Thank you for joining us. This project has been a labor of love for us for the last year, almost a year and a half. We knew we wanted to celebrate this monumental moment of most women getting the right to vote 100 years ago. But we knew that 100 years ago, not all of our voices were at the table. So we curated this project to bring all women's voices to the table to look at, interrogate, and celebrate this monumental historical event. So we're excited to bring it to you. Thank you for joining us. And if you want to hear more about the artists National Black Theater have brought to the table, along with all of our artists, you can check us out at 100years100women.net. Thanks so much.
100 years.
100 years.
100 years.
100 years.
100 women.
Playwright,
Director,
Public sculptor,
photographer, poet,
performance artist,
dancer, choreographer.
Mark.
Celebrate.
Reflect.
100 women.
100 years.
100 years.
100 years.
100
years.
100 women.
This project allows 100 artists to respond to the women's suffrage movement.
August the 18th, 1920.
It marks 100 years of the passage of the 19th Amendment.
Both an observance of
and celebration of
women in the struggle to vote.
To vote.
To have a voice
In the United States. It didn't just happen. Courageous women fought for so many decades. Decades and decades of organizing work that got to the date of August 18th, 1920.
But there's a lot more to the story of liberation.
What was underlying was the labor of people of color and the work that hasn't been acknowledged yet.
The anti-Blackness that did exist in that movement.
Stanton and Kat and Alice Paul, and actually a lot of these major figures that we now honor were against the 15th Amendment because they believed that white women should vote before Black men.
Black women still couldn't vote. I feel some kinship, but I also feel conflicted.
Women's suffrage movement has so much to owe to people of color.
Like Sojourner Truth,
Ida B. Wells,
Dr. Mabel Lee,
Mary Church Terrell,
Nannie Helen Burroughs, Frances Helen Watkins Harper never were praised for the work, but they had a dream that the next generation of women had the opportunity to vote to make a difference.
It's an opportunity for me to be considering and reflecting, especially since my name is Karen.
Is about the subsequent struggle over the past 100 years to affirm and assert our voices and our freedom. And simultaneously, look how far we've come, and also, I can't believe we're still talking about this after 100 years.
It made me think about how often women have been silenced.
Slow speed. Remember who you are. Stay steady. I know it's just a wobble.
And when we open our mouths, whether it's to cry or scream or chant or call out or sing or whisper, or say the things that need to be said, that's when we step into ourselves.
I'm so tired of being tired.
Tired of this push.
Tired of motherfuckers asking me to choose between feminism and womanism.
Her name is Know Me, like you don't know me. She's in my scream, my cackle. She destroys, rebuilds, and rebirths. And I never thank her.
It means that women are yet still the mules of the world, but they are not yet considered equal, not even amongst themselves.
Until we are all free, we are none of us free.
Before time had measurement, before memory had name, my mother saw who I was. She knew I was a woman.
And who is us?
What if we didn't know? What if we didn't know?
Sisters, mothers,
many voices,
untold stories,
a deeper excavation.
To take history out of mothballs, to bring to the surface the labor, the work, and the power of women.
The personal is always political.
Ain't I a woman?
Freedom, freedom. She uses remains from our past, music from our futures, and gold dust from our legacies.
In this time of warped pandemic, the world as we know it has stopped turning.
How do we break out of these systems?
There's a reason that George Floyd, as he lay dying, called upon his mother and not his father.
If America wanted to do something about what has been going on in Mississippi, it could have stopped by now. This flag is drenched with our blood. So what the young people are saying now, give us a chance.
Until we are all free, we are none of us free. In cohort.
And so we begin again. But this time we're gonna start with the truth.
Hearing from all women.
There's so much dimension and nuances in our voices.
Voices.
Voting.
And
Lift as we climb.
Right now, to move forward and continue to work because we're not done.
We have so much more to do.
So that we could heal forward.
This project is way overdue. And again, this project is right on time.
Right on time.
The struggle continues.
100 years.
100 years?
100 years.
100 women.
Thank you so much for joining us for 100 Years, 100 Women. We hope you enjoyed Shala Lynch's beautiful cinematic portrait of the project. If you missed it or would like to explore more of the commissions, you can always visit the project archive. As we mark the centennial of the 19th Amendment, it is important to recognize that the amendment did not immediately guarantee all women the right to vote, and the fight for women's equality has been a long and fraught journey with many successes, but also many setbacks and omissions. With much work still left to be done 100 years later, we are honored to invite Catherine Gray, co-president of the League of Women Voters, New York City, founded in 1919, and Seyu Bogwani, founder and president of New American Leaders, to offer a few remarks in response to this momentous day, followed by sneak peeks of some very special contributions to the 100 Years, 100 Women project.
Hello, my name is Catherine Gray. I'm the past president of the League of Women Voters of the City of New York. Thank you for joining us for 100 Years, 100 Women's Project. 100 years ago, the 19th Amendment was passed. Women fought for their right to vote since the beginning of our country. Abigail Adams asked her husband not to forget the ladies in the Declaration of Independence. The long fight for suffrage was often divided between those who wanted to make changes within the system by focusing on legislation. They traveled state to state by horseback to get laws changed, and those who took a more militant approach because they felt they were not being heard. They protested, they were arrested, they staged hunger strikes, resulting in forced feeding. Those who fought for suffrage in the 1800s died before the vote was won. It's a combination of all of these efforts that gave you and I the right to vote today. The League was formed to teach these new women voters the how and why of voting. At the beginning, the League was not inclusive of women of color, but it has changed, grown over the years. It took 45 years to get the Voting Rights Act passed in 1965, finally making voter suppression illegal, only to be upended in 2013 when the Supreme Court allowed states with a history of intimidation to return to their past practices. Today, the League continues to fight for fair legislation, fair elections, suing states for voting rights, and marching in protest. Vote411.org, a League resource, offers the how and why of voting for today's voters. We have been in nonpartisan fighting for over 100 years and will continue for the next 100, because voting is your voice, your right, and your responsibility. Thank you.
"100 years ago, on August 18th, 1920, after a tireless 72-year fight, the 19th Amendment was ratified, guaranteeing all women in America the right to vote. But at least said it was the legal right of women. So, all women across the country in every state could now vote. Well, only some women, mostly upper and middle class white women, who wanted to and didn't think it would ruin their family and go against their core beliefs about womanhood or put them in danger. So, the 19th Amendment gave some women the right to vote. Well, men gave some women the right to vote. White men. Some of them finally decided to permit their wives, daughters, and sisters a voice in democracy. Technically, the 19th Amendment doesn't permit anything. It denies. The 72-year fight for women's suffrage won a denial.
Hi, my name is Peggy Shaw from the Split Pictures Company, and this is...
I'm Lois Weaver, and I'm an artist and an educator and an activist, and you are?
Old.
And
I'm an artist and an educator, and I'm active.
You're very active.
And I do go to a lot of trouble to make sure I'm aware, as I feel all artists do.
And this is part of 100 Years, 100 Women project. And this project, I think, to me, is just one of many ways to mark small but very important milestones. I like to think of women's rights and feminism and the progress that we've made is an intersectional that's pretty good. Intersectional struggle, and this is one big part of that struggle. I think it is a problematic celebration because it's primarily about white women and white women's right to vote. But I think a lot of people, including us, are working to change that. So it's a good celebration because we have to celebrate every small victory. And adjectives to describe this event, it's big.
It's always, celebrating women is always like one event out of like hundreds, but we're working to make that better also.
It's important.
It's too bad that it has to be so special, that it's not just every day.
Yeah, we want to celebrate every day. So it's celebratory. It's important. It's a step, and like we said before, every step is an important step. And we hope that it fills the enormity of the space that it inhabits, which is the Armory, but we hope that it fills the enormity of the space that we as women inhabit on a daily basis and makes that visible to everybody.
Time to go make lunch.
Welcome to 100 Years, 100 Women. I am Sayu Bojwani, founder and president of New American Leaders, an organization working towards a democracy in which every person feels represented. As an immigrant to the United States, I know what it's like to fight for my right to be here and for my voice to be heard. That's why I think the new 19th is a journey towards a democracy in which every one of us feels seen and heard, in which we are living out our ancestors' wildest dreams, in which our individual stories matter just as much as our collective future. That's an America that we need to build together. So this November, vote, support local and state candidates, bring everyone you know to the ballot box. Together, we can build the America that will be stronger and more inclusive for generations to come.
And so, the suffragists brewed ideas in tea rooms, and organized tea party fundraisers, and bought charitable tea brands like Equality Tea, Ceylon, green tea, and oolong. A taste of freedom with each sip. But could they taste the underlying notes? The sweet aroma of Indian poppy fields, where the British East India Company manufactured opium to sell for Chinese tea. The smoky ash embedded in opium pipes throughout China, an addiction the British built to sustain the empire's tea habit. The metallic taste of bloodshed during the opium wars that ensued. The bitter grime off the hands of Robert Fortune, who disguised himself as a Chinese merchant to steal tea plants so the British could produce their own tea. The salty sweat of peasants in British tea plantations across colonies in India, Sri Lanka, Kenya, and Malawi. Could they taste the suffering in this equality tea? As they masked its bitterness with spoonfuls of sweet sugar, the fruits of slave labor in the Caribbean and Louisiana, as they sipped tea in Chinese porcelain in Oriental tea rooms.
I like old things. I have no explanation for how I would have known that. I mean, I want to have lunch. I think I'm a writer. Every year. Fight, 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 first. Flight, 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 first. A newspaper. The light was actually very beautiful from this window. A very dear friend. All day long, the light was actually very beautiful from this window. Old things, and memory, and who is all on this one weekend, and decline, discipline, duplicate every year, growth, and harder. He and his. How many tabs I have open. I think in that moment. Not kidding. Of course. Old things. Once a year. Research. So. Stories. The light was actually very beautiful from this window. Profoundly distracted. Yeah. I think discipline. Every year. Formal training is nice, growth, and harder, and all day long. All on this one weekend, all day long. But I change, and but I
Thank you to all of the thoughtful participants who've shared their creative responses so far. As you can imagine, the COVID-19 pandemic, its quarantine, and sheltering in place orders, all along with the very serious police violence that we've seen and the reckoning demanded by Black Lives Matter movement, has greatly challenged this incredible group of artists, activists, scholars, students, and community leaders, self-identifying women, gender non-binary, two-spirited, and men who've bravely navigated these challenges to offer collaborative creations, visual art projects, spoken word poems, musical moments, essays, self-portraits, ceremonies, dance performances, and tributes to the women of their lives. If you'd like to explore more projects, and please do, meet the participants and join the conversation about the complexities of the women's movement for equality, please visit 100years100women.net. Please stay tuned also for more sneak previews and offerings from special guests including former U.S. Poet Laureate Rita Dove, one of my favorites, and the amazing Susan Herman, president of the ACLU.
This isn't for just one person or gender. It's for all those who came before me and brought life into my path with their power. It's for Lozin, who rose and rode as and with warriors, caring for the person she felt called to until colonialism separated the physical realm and stretched indigiqueer love into the star world. This is for LaDonna, who stood with roots growing out of her feet into the earth, feeling her blood and heartbeat above and beneath the ground, asking for protection and demanding the world show up to help her provide it for the people and more than human kin. I speak this for the young folks whose beings bring our predecessors, living and forthcoming ancestors into every space they enter. The ones with strong hearts on the front lines fighting for their and all our futures. This unbreakable bond and immeasurable gratitude is also, and perhaps most importantly, for the trans femmes, women, and gender-expansive, non-binary, non-conforming Black folks who at every turn carry more weight than I will ever find on my back and possess more magic in their marrow than most of us contain in our entire beings. This is for the Afro-Indigenous, global educators, seed savers, original scientists and historians, melody makers, spiritual intercessors, knowledge keepers, survivors, and to all those who find ways to live and leave the light on for others to find their way. Ihenna, Dawae, thank you. Because of you I am, because of you we are.
As George Floyd was dying, he called on his mother, a woman who had been dead for 3 years. This is Carrie Mae Weems, and I'm a visual artist. And this is 100 Years, 100 Women. The question, what does this project mean? For me, it means that women are yet and still really, as Zora Neale Hurston would say, the mules of the world. That we are not yet considered, not even amongst ourselves, equal to men with the same rights and the same privileges. It means that the fight for equity continues and will for the foreseeable future. It means that we've missed the ERA by a mile and that women may have lost sight of the gold. So to my mind, this is really not a celebration, but rather a painful reminder of lack. What adjectives or words or phrases describe your project? The push, the heave, the exhaustion. What woman describes or what woman inspires your piece? Why her? Carrie Polk Weems, my mother, a woman of deep compassion, profound insight, a woman who was born, I think, in the wrong time, whose dreams beyond motherhood were dashed but who nevertheless discovered her own voice, her own power through faith and family and will. A remarkable woman. What's the title of the piece? Hold On Tight. What's the process? To work, to consider, to reflect. Has the pandemic or the Black Lives Matter movement really impacted the work? Not really. I think that we live our lives in the changing same. What do you want the work to say, to do? What do you want people to take away? Well, of course, if there is an enormous amount of work that still remains to be done, unfortunately, because I'm actually very tired. But I do think that there's something really important, that in this push towards our deeper humanity, that men must step up and speak on the behalf of women. That there's a reason that George Floyd, as he lay dying, called upon his mother and not his father. I have to tell you, I'm tired. I'm tired of the changing same. I'm tired of this push. I'm tired of waking up every day and going into my studio and pushing in this way. It's exhausting. Yes, that there are absolutely exhilarating moments, that I have this opportunity of working and an opportunity to speak to the moment in which I live. But I'm exhausted. And I think that the world is too. And one of the reasons that we've seen such massive protest, not only in the United States, but around the world in the wake of George Floyd's death, is precisely because everybody else is tired too of coming back to the same problem, the same question, the same unresolved again and again and again.
U.S. is number one in pandemic deaths, 130,000 and more. And all those killings, Black Lives Matter, Breonna Taylor, and so many more. And then there's climate change, Arctic fires, and my pandemic hair. How can I go on? How?
Hello, my name is Rita Dove, and I am a poet and a professor of creative writing at the University of Virginia. Welcome to 100 Years, 100 Women project. I'm going to read for you a poem that's dedicated to my mother and to all the working women who have to take more than one job in order to make ends meet. My mother enters the workforce. The path to ABC Business School was paid for by a lucky sign. Alterations, qualified seamstress inquire within. Tested on sleeves, hers never puckered. Puffed or sleek, leg of mutton or racklin, they barely needed the damp cloth to steam them perfect. Those were the afternoons. Evenings she took in piecework, the treadle machine with its locomotive whir traveling the lit path of the needle through quicksand taffeta or velvet deep as a forest. And now, sang the treadle, I know. And then it was day again, all morning at the office machines, their clack and chatter, another journey, rougher, that would go on forever until she could break 100 words with no errors. And then no more postponed groceries and that blue pair of shoes. Thank you for joining us today.
Freedom, 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 freedom. Right now, right now.
I am Black. As I try to navigate this current infection.
Born at the crossroads.
The virus that's raging from sea to shining sea.
I am a woman.
The dis-ease of misogyny.
I am Black.
White supremacy and anti-Black racism.
I am a woman.
I reflect upon my activist sisters.
Born at the crossroads.
Mothers, grandmothers of 100 years ago and today.
Multiple pandemics.
Black feminists who, at the intersection of multiple pandemics, dug their way out of nowhere in pursuit of freedom. Freedom. Freedom.
Intersection.
Intersection.
I'm Susan Herman, President of the American Civil Liberties Union, and welcome to the 100 Years, 100 Women project. The woman who dreamed up the ACLU 100 years ago, Crystal Eastman, was an ardent suffragist, but when the 19th Amendment was adopted in 1920, she wasn't calling for a celebration. Instead, she called on women to use their newly minted political power to fight for true equality. Now we can begin, she said. And so I'm inviting you after the celebration to begin. Be a 2020 suffragist by doing the following 3 things. Number 1, check out the ACLU website to find out how the pandemic and voter suppression measures all around the country are having a disproportionate impact on women and men of color, on people with disabilities, on Native Americans. Find out what we're doing to try to eliminate those obstacles and find out what you can do to help. Number 2, consider volunteering with or supporting an organization that helps to register people to vote and get out the vote, like Rock the Vote, America Votes, or the League of Women Voters. Finally, use your social media to tell all your communities to get out and vote like your rights depend on it. Wearing white is optional.
Thank you, Susan. It is compelling to think about the power of the vote, the responsibilities of voting, and who's still left disenfranchised in this country, and what we can all do to help, especially at a time when people want to vote safely, when mail-in voting is what experts tell us we need, and when the Postal Service is under political attack. Please stay tuned for more sneak peeks of artists and their works and offerings from special guests, including Hollywood actress and Indigenous activist Tantu Cardinal and Jari Jones, trans model, filmmaker, and activist.
Tantu Cardinal, Tsikasun. The first recorded resistance on the part of women in North America was in the 1500s. The Iroquois Society women, the Haudenosaunee. Their colors are green, yellow, and purple, the colors of the banners and flyers of the suffragette movement. The Crishamat, while visiting in Seneca Falls with her husband, saw that the Iroquois Society women held such position in their society that they were stewards of the land, keepers of culture, responsible for defining the political, social, spiritual, and economic norms of society. This is who Indigenous women are, in our blood and our bones, even as our societies were outlawed. The seed, the root, the foundation, the natural formation of a healthy society. We must stand together to repair this circle that has been forced asunder. Our future depends on us. Our Mother Earth will not rest into balance until this natural formation is once again put in place. Eskoak, Kitsatausanan.
I think at this moment, lots of us are in agreement that we need to vote to get rid of Trump.
We have a lot of work to do so people really understand the power of their voice and the power of their vote. They're one and the same.
I do believe we definitely have power, like in the box and whatnot. But I feel like, especially in these past few years, and as a person who's in college, like I'm constantly towing the line between even believing in the Electoral College as a system that's like right, because how can you win the popular vote? Like just simple questions like that are like enrage me.
And to me, voting is a very powerful form of protest because it's a way to hold people accountable who don't live up to their obligations.
So I've heard someone say that if you're protesting and you don't vote, sit down. And I disagree with that type of thinking. If it wasn't for the protesters, we wouldn't be here where we're at right now.
It's not a matter of if you protest and don't vote, sit down. It's more a matter of what is the follow through.
My belief in grassroots organizing and the fact that that's always been and that like may be the most effective right now.
My pronouns are they, them. I'm a first generation Afro-Latinx living in this country.
I am first generation American. My parents were immigrants from Belize, from Central
I was born in
America.
Haiti. I came here when I was 14. I naturalized in my early 20s.
So I think that voting is important through the eyes of my parents and the work they did to become American citizens. So through those lens, I think voting is important.
Just going to be able to vote was like a big deal to me.
Once I turned 18 and I was able to vote, that was my freedom card. I had waited all my life to do that.
I don't know. I never felt like growing up that like the country technically had very much a positive view on my life or very much so wanted to help my life excel.
What Black people in general, Black people of all genders, have experienced in this country for a very long time. And when we consider that, we also think about how it's very hard to place trust in a system that has always worked against us, that is by design against us. So when we think about using the system, the same system that has, done everything to us and to harm us, we can't really. There's skepticism, a lot of skepticism involved.
It is like a war on every front for us. For people who look like us, for people who believe in Black liberation and the sanctity of Black life. I am steeped in democratic and political and progressive spaces, and we are fighting desperately to get heard.
Still resilient, we still sing songs of freedom, for we know the medicine that it brings. We dance, we paint, we rest, we pray, for we know the medicine that it brings. We mourn, we laugh, we are silent, we share, we struggle, we zoom, we breathe, for we know the medicine that it brings. We witness, we testify, we find new ways, we remember old ones, we remember, we go back, we change, we love, we just be. We miss, we long, we carry together, we carry on, for we know the medicine that it brings. The cure is within you, us, we here now, to heal now. We here now, to heal now. We here now, to heal now. Heal now, heal now.
water, a litany in process. Water, on water, on water we rise. Water as oracle, as water we thrive. Hydrate, ceremony, build an ocean inside. We are necessary, drinking this water prize. Relics we gather, black and flowing free. Black water is the ritual water we be. The marine prophets told us deserts were ocean floor. Now it's time, it's reckoning time. Time to remember water divine. Give it back to the water. Give it back to the sea. Give it back to the mama. From ocean we be. Give it back like you owe her. Give it back like you know. Give it back like you water and join this holy flow. Come clean. See everything. This skin archive, artifactual, telling our mythography. And how do we spell mythography? Between long sips of sunshine. First letter, fugitive. Second letter, drum. Third letter, we are the beginning. Fourth letter, run. Fifth letter, swim child. Sixth letter, go. Seventh letter, dive deeper now. Eighth letter, those who know, glow. Ninth letter, hide in the coral. 10th letter, glisten sharp in the deep. 11th letter, find water breath. 12th letter, only surface in the crook of the creek. 13th letter, remember the moon days. 14th letter, become a prayer. 15th letter, let it all go. 16th letter, remember your stare is a scare. 17th letter, fireworks, fireworks, fireworks. 18th letter, quilt your rebirth in the waves. 19th letter, ain't no such thing as a secret. 20th letter, every lie is in the grave. Before you got here, you were already born. Come from the water, they say. You come from the water, they say. You come from the water. You come from the water. Without water, you mourn. To the water, you will return. To the source, to the sky ocean, to the sky rise, to the ocean rise, to the ocean rise, to the sky rise, you will return. And who will believe these water prophets who bring root wisdom in disguise? Sky rise, ocean rise, ancient knowledge in disguise. Give it back to the water. Give it back to the sea. Give it back to the mama. From the ocean we be. Give it back because you owe her. Give it back because you know. Give it back to the water and join this holy flow.
Dear black trans girl, forget everything you've been told about being a woman. The shit ain't true. Forget the idea that getting a vagina will make you whole when really living your truth will be your greatest operation on your life. You will have many incisions, Much bruising, a lot of bleeding. But when you heal from the pain that this society has injected you with, by God, you will marvel at the beauty of your results. You were birthed from bravery, from fearlessness, from being fucking tired of being something that is not connected with your heart, not from flesh, not from a womb, not because of a man, but from an unbreakable newfound love of self. Dear black trans girl, love comes more often from the nights you lay in bed with your sister than the nights you lay in bed with him. Pillow talk can look like sisterhood. Nightcaps can look like mothering. Intimacy can look like community. Sheets don't have to be a place to be filled with shame and secrecy, but with compassion, honesty, and affirmation. How beautiful it is to wake up in your own body. Dear black trans girl, they will never understand the complexity of your beauty. But how can mere mortals understand a goddess? The strength and command in the bass of your voice, the pride and dignity in the stature of your height, the history and fight engraved in your hands. When will they realize that they are trying to destroy something sacred? You are something sacred. It is our duty to protect something sacred. Dear black trans girl, smile because you decided to smile. Wear your hair as long as you please. It is your royal robe. The higher the heels, the higher to glory. Gods aren't supposed to touch the ground. Show as much skin as you can handle because you have been covered way too long. Dear black trans girl, I love you. I love you. I love you. Sincerely, a black trans girl.
Freedom. When you call my name, oh, I wonder, could you call again? Call again and I'll answer. Oh, I don't think we met before. Heard some old folks talking about you like you're worthy, Lord. Call again and I'll answer. Yeah, I say freedom, you must live up amongst the stars. Kinda hard in a world like ours. We talk about you night and day. We're thinking we might find a way. Freedom over here. Oh, I know it's not always clear. Some of us, we've had our fill. Who's gonna stand up with you? I will. Yeah, yeah. You sound like someone we really need. Soul searching armies looking for a victory. Call again and I'll answer. I will. Call again and I'll answer. Well, we lost our water from hurt and greed, but I can cry you a river of hunger and need. Call again and I'll answer. Yeah, call again and I'll answer. I say freedom, you must live up amongst the stars. A kind of hard in a world like ours. We talk about you night and day. Oh, we're thinking we might find a righteous way. Freedom over here. Oh, I know it's not always clear. Some of us, we've had our fill. Who's gonna stand up with you? I will. Yeah. 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 Well, they trying to build more and more, and they don't even know what they building for. Call again and I'll answer. I will. I'll call again and I'll answer. And all I'm talking about is some freedom to have air to breathe, a freedom to walk the land beneath your feet. Call again and I'll answer. Yeah, call again and I'll answer. Oh, I say freedom. We talk about you night and day. We're thinking we might find the righteous way. Who's gonna make a sacrifice? Who's gonna live for what is right? Who's gonna make room in this circle of ours? Who's gonna bring you home from the stars? Who's gonna believe that love is real? Who's gonna stand up with you? I will. Yeah. Who's gonna stand up with you? I will. Yeah. Who's gonna stand up with you? I will. Oh yeah. Who's gonna stand up with you? I will. Talking about freedom. Who's gonna stand up with you? I will.
You know, it wasn't that long ago that Congresswoman Shirley Chisholm said, you know, there's a lot of talent being wasted in this country because it wears a skirt. But as we've seen, there is no shortage of talent in our 100 Years, 100 Women project, celebrating the 19th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. We live in an equally complex moment 100 years later, in a time when the pandemic and climate change is disproportionately affecting Indigenous people, communities of color, and the Me Too and Black Lives Matter movements demand new discourses and accountability in the fight for racial and gender equality. We are so grateful that artists, cultural creators, activists, and scholars open our eyes to new lenses on history, provide new paths of understanding, and opening a space for dialogue and debate that we so richly need. If you would like to support artists in this unprecedented time, or need help, or help registering people to vote, or educating yourself on the history of racism in this country, please take action and visit the Project Archive. The links are below. And thank you, and be safe, and be well, and vote.
Mississippi is still a very rough place. You know, people is not just walking up like they used to do in the past, walking out, shooting a man down or getting maybe 2 or 300 people carrying out and lynching you, but it's in a more subtle way. They let you starve to death, not give you jobs. These are some of the things that's happening right now in Mississippi. See, Mississippi is not actually Mississippi's problem. Mississippi is America's problem. Because if America wanted to do something about what has been going on in Mississippi, it could have stopped by now. It wouldn't have been in the past few years, between 40 and 50 churches bombed and burned. You see, and this leads me to say, all of the burning and bombing that was done to us and the houses, nobody never said too much about that, and nothing was done. But let something be burned, by a black man, and then, my God, you see, the flag is drenched with our blood. Because you see, so many of our ancestors was killed because we have never accepted slavery. We had to live on it, but we've never wanted it. So we know that this flag is drenched with our blood. So what the young people are saying now, give us a chance to be young men respected as a man, as we know this country was built on the black backs of black people across this country. And if we don't have it, you ain't gonna have it either, because we gonna tear it up. That's what they say. And people ought to understand that. I don't see why they don't understand it. They know what they've done to us. All across this country, they know what they've done to us. This country is desperately sick, and man is on the critical list. I really don't know where we go from here.
Remains from our past, music from our futures, and gold dust from our legacies, to synthesize windows that have eyes as this glass, which beacon light into our skins, tongues as its curtains, which sing hello into our ears, and fingers as its friends, which compile notes only our spirits can read, thus creating a pathway to galaxies that when we experience, set ablaze to our expectations and rehost up their truths, to only regurgitate a narrative that will never, ever not betray us, and making an offering that allowed us to feel as we feel, which is often blue but not black, hard yet plush, ending as a feeling of punctuation into a manifestation of self that is truly God.
Why are you here today? Darling, I want my gay rights now. I think it's about time the gay brothers and sisters got their rights, and especially the women. How will this affect you and your job? Darling, I don't have a job. I'm on welfare. I have no intention of getting a job as long as this country discriminates against homosexuals. There's only homosexuals, bisexuals, and trisexuals, darling. And there's no straight people. Because it is trying out women, honey.
Thank you very much for talking to us.